Hey there, Postal here. So today we're taking out the F2G. It's a plane I absolutely love, but it can struggle a lot. Not only just at Tier 8, although it does very well for itself at Tier 8, but at Tier 9, which we are in a Tier 9 battle today. So we are going to be just outclassed by the enemy, unfortunately. They've got an RB-17 and an FJ-1, a specialized FJ-1, not that it needs to be specialized to outduel us. FJ1 can go faster, go higher, and turn tighter. Yeah, but we have... Well, what do we have? We've got some rockets. We've got a big old bomb. This is a 1,600-pound bomb. You might be looking at this and just saying, well, it looks like an F4U. And yeah, you're right, it does look like an F4U. That bomb is not Corsair-esque. This is the Super Corsair, so let's do all the superness that we can do in it. Let's try to rocket. Perfect. So we've done some ground damage, and that's what's going to win us this battle. As much as I love dogfighting in the Corsairs, and this plane as well, dogfights are not going to win us this battle. It's going to be capturing sectors that's going to win us this battle. There's an RB-17 around at all times, going to be at this sector whenever he feels like it. And so we need to be mindful of that. Hey, the F-94D, that's the plane that you get after this plane.
Enemy bombers detected. Destroy them.
We can't really chase down a 262, but we can do some damage to him, make it easier for the next person to get him, right? I'm not going to put myself in a position that's going to kill me. I'm paying attention to the map, and now it's just too much. Paying attention to the map, and... Where's this RB-17, actually? He's coming towards me. My cannons might actually be able to do something to him. Especially from this angle. Yes! Yeah, we're behind him now, but he's so low on health. Perfect. Can't ask for anything more than that. I talk about not doing so much dogfighting, so much air-to-air combat this particular battle, and here I am doing a bunch of freaking air-to-air combat against planes I really shouldn't be. So let's dive down. Let's go ahead and get... What do we need to get? We need to send everybody else over there. We're going to try to get this garrison. Our bomb and our rockets are going to be back by the time we get there, so let's go ahead and just move. This particular battle is just going to be a lot of moving. We really need to make sure that we're capturing, right? ABC, ABC, ABC. In this kind of instance, we need to always be capturing. That means killing enemy aircraft in the sector to cap it, then so be it. If it means dropping this big old bomb, this happy bomb, and then so be it. We've got the big old bomb taken care of. Let's try to knock out this ME. See what we can do here versus him. Yeah, he might have speed on us, but I've got maneuverability on him. And he doesn't have that much more speed than me, and he's in a bad state anyway. I've built the F2G for speed, which is not what I've done for the majority or for any of the other Corsairs, right? This plane, there's so many popular turn fighters at this tier. Yak 15, Yak 19 are going to outturn me no matter how turny I am. BVP 210s and 212s, going to outturn me no matter what. J7Ws, those are all multi-rolls, but they just are built, they're really fighters in a multi-roll skin. And this plane should be taking advantage of its ability to do air-to-ground damage that those planes can't do. Yes, we can still do air-to-air combat, as we are showcasing here. Get our engine cooling going on here, so that way I've got my boost ready to go as needed. But we want to make sure that we're taking advantage of the thing that makes this plane special compared to those other tourney-type multi-roll fighters, and that's this plane's ability to do ground damage. The rockets aren't gonna make her. Oh no! No! I think. Oh crap! Oh my goodness. That really sucks. Alright, and unfortunately, they're about to capture that other command center. So let's spawn here. I'm actually going to move up. Where am I moving? We've got a bunch of stuff going that way. Do I go this way and defend it? Do I go south? Let's go down. Right, we need an ABC. We've got a bunch of things going this way, but we can't necessarily trust them to actually capture it, right? Really sucks. I'm annoyed with myself for crashing there. We're having a pretty darn good battle. We're actually out-dueling our F-84B on our team. I'm glad we've got an F-84B, though. Combined, our two multi-rolls should have the ability to continue capturing, as we definitely need to do, right? You know what? Let's just drop a bomb here. Drop the bomb. Get some air targets knocked out while we're at it. There we go. Perfect. Got air supremacy again. They're about to get that command center on the opposite side, which they just did. But we're just pushing as much as we can. In this kind of situation, you know, you need to lean on your strengths. My strength is not going to be a dogfighter in this particular game, although we haven't ran into the FJ1. The FJ1 can easily out-duel us. You know, we already saw just with an LA9, which isn't a very, you know, not a very turny fighter in any way, medium turny, and still out-duel us. So our forte is going to be dropping that bomb, to be dropping down these rockets, which do more damage as well. Your focus really is, or your abilities that increase over the tier 7. When you get to the tier 8 here, are more air-to-ground based, since your guns don't actually get any better. And not that that's necessarily a bad thing. These guns are still excellent. It's not to take away from them. What that really does is tell you just how strong these guns are at tier 7. Because they still do the hard and heavy lifting at this tier. Can we get one more cap before the game's over? Not versus that. It's good teamwork with the other multi-roll that we had on our team. I suppose. I mean, he didn't get any chevrons, but he was obviously doing something. The RB-17 was trying his hardest, but we were just able to work together and out-cap him, which is saying something, especially in a tier 9 battle. Let's check out the next battle. Alright, so now we're taking a look at the F2G in our second battle here. Another tier 9 battle, which kind of is what it is. They've got a J7W1, which can be a real huge pain in the butt. Actually, they've got a P51H, which can be a real huge pain in the butt. They've got the speed, and they've got the firepower. They've got the altitude. It's just making sure that we know what we're doing in whatever situation to outduel them. However, we've got a Tu-12 on our team, and so you know, can't go wrong with that. Chris is a pretty darn good pilot, if I remember correctly. So let's zoom on over here. We've got this bomb, so again, let's try to utilize the bomb in whatever situations we can. We'll see what the bomb does here. Oh, hello. Wasn't expecting him to be here so quickly. Nice. Let's reload our rockets while we're at it. I'm going to go ahead and push it along to... Never mind. We've got the Tu-12 going that way, so he's got it under control. Let's get over to the garrison over here, because as we know, garrisons win games. Yeah. Tu-10. Tu-10 is going to be low enough. Oh, they're both Tu-10s. We might actually have a chance of hurting these guys just because of their altitude performance. Well, a combination of their altitude performance and my firepower. Excellent. Got a bomber inbound here. Fortunately, I think we've got that J7 is inbound. He is. He wants me. He likes me a lot. So we'll see what we can do. He's still trying to shoot at me. Gonna hit the old F7. Which will send another multi-roll on him. We'll keep going while he's screwing around here. Alright, so he's finally turned away. He's in a lot of trouble, actually. I laugh a lot. Yeah, he's toast. Alright, so... utilize our... you know, you gotta utilize... oh, shoot. Gonna get rocketed here. Oh, annoying. But anyway, you gotta utilize what you can versus what you're up against. That's the point of a multi-roll is you're never gonna be the fastest thing out there. You're never gonna be the turniest. You're never going to do the most damage with your guns or with your bombs and rockets. But you need to determine the situation and figure out, you know, what's going to be your best course of action in that situation. Fortunately, I got my wing knocked out. Because otherwise I'd actually be able to outturn him with pneumatic control assist going on here. But the P-51H is inbound. So let's go ahead and... nope. Got the 209 to knock me out. It's the only sector they've got, though. So what we can do is just keep putting pressure on them. Not that we're doing a whole lot in this particular battle. Let's go ahead and... I'm going to spawn here just to defend it and then head here. We're going to capture that sector pretty easily, no matter what they do. So yeah, let's knock out this F-84B. Actually, we need to knock out this guy because he's the one that's inbound on our position. The other guy's outbound. If we went for the F-84 in this situation, we would just be getting ourselves in front of the XP-72. It's not that we can't outmaneuver an XP-72, it's just what's the point of that? Then putting ourselves in a bad state. F-84B is going to be much more turny than that XP. But it looks like we've got our guns on target here, so we'll be fine. Let's head on to the center. Get some altitude, shall we? Let's do that. Been flying low for quite a while. Let's try to get to the upper echelon here of our altitude performance. Which isn't super high by any means, but just gives us some flexibility. Don't know if we'll be able to knock out this bomber before they flip the sector. Maybe? You're gonna turn back towards me, or you're gonna turn away? Dare you? 228 is actually probably gonna be more of a... oh, never mind. Annoying! I wasn't gonna be able to kill the bomber in time anyway. 228 is definitely gonna be the biggest threat now that the sector's been captured. But let's just knock this guy out anyway, just because he's here. I say with confidence. Apparently I'm not allowed to kill this guy. Thanks. Well, it took so damn long that we actually got some capture points from this. So that's pretty nice. Let's see if we can't up and over to these guys here. Get our engine cooling back on.
Way to go. Victory is close.
Thank you. Let's head on down. I can't catch up with that heavy fighter, but what we can do is never mind. I'm going to head over here to defend this a little bit, and I suspect the game will be over. This kind of situation, we're just, you know, we've got a TU-12 doing TU-12 kind of things, and so, especially a good pilot like Chris, and so rather than you know, forcing ourselves to do something crazy. We can just kind of go where is needed to go. We can be supplemental. We're bottom tier. We're a multi-role fighter. Let's just do what needs to be done rather than trying to force a situation. Especially when you've got a competent player on your team. Or more than competent in his situation here. Okay, so we've got rid of those guys. 2 seconds. 1 second. Let's drop a bomb here. Let's drop some rockets here. Let's try to not get outmaneuvered by a BF-109. Stop knocking out my wings, everybody. Never had my frickin' wings and engine knocked out more than in this game. There we go. That was quick and easy. What are we looking at here? Let's see if I can't get him knocked out. Firing the rockets there made him dive into a different position. Unfortunately, we're kind of stuck with no hit points. Luckily, the guys, the reds that are around us are, you know, not paying attention to us because they're already engaged. Let off the cannons, let them cool off for a little bit. There we go, got our last kill there. And yeah, not too bad. Actually, how did we come out on top? I think we came out on top barely. Look at that, that's hilarious. We came out on top just because we were doing a little bit of everything, and we were in control. And I say we, the blue team was in control the entire time there. Let's head on back. All right, so for that first battle, 10 air targets, 4 ground targets, 20,000, 21,000. You know, nothing crazy, but you can see if I didn't die there, I actually had a reasonable chance to get something like a Gabreski, right? It's funny to say because the F4Us, the Corsairs at tier 6 and tier 7, I don't really feel like if you get a Gabreski in those, and it's not to say it can't be done, of course it can be done, but to get a Gabreski in a F4U, you kind of have to sneak a ground target away. Yeah, you're going to do air damage pretty darn easily. But your rockets aren't so strong that they can easily just flip a whole sector. Going to typically take those ground targets that have already been weakened by the ground attacker or by the bomber and just need a little push. And you can use your rockets for that. The F2G, though, you know, this I mentioned the bomb already. The bomb really does make a big difference. Drop it for you know, fire and forget type situation. And having a bomb on this plane really just gives you a lot more flexibility for air-to-ground capabilities. Let's take a look at the second game. All right, so that was a little bit more air damage than ground damage, although we did about the same ground damage. The damage that we were doing was we were just kind of flinging stuff out and moving along rather than being more concise, and that's why the ground targets themselves were less. And yeah, so what I really, really enjoy about the F2G is its flexibility. And what I mean by that, and it's a word I use a lot for a lot of different planes, is I need to GG him because I mean we won because of him. Let's not mince words here. This game was not won because I led the team. I might have gotten the most personal points, might have gotten a lot of chevrons. That was simply because I was trying to do the things that multi-roles need to do. I was trying to get capture points, I was trying to capture sectors, and I was trying to defend when it was proper to do it. That being said, the F2G is really good at doing that. Unlike the F4Us beforehand, you've got this big bomb that can do big bomb things, so you can just drop it and go. You've got these rockets that can be used for air to ground, obviously. You've seen me utilize them for air-to-air combat as well. Yeah, it's a last-ditch effort kind of thing, but when these rockets hit, they certainly hurt. So let's go ahead and let's take a look at the metrics of this plane and then how I've got mine set up, why I've got it set up that way, and we'll continue on. So this plane, let's start right off the bat with the guns. These guns are the same exact ones. These guns are the same exact ones that you had at tier 7, and that's not a bad thing. It just reinforces how strong they can be at tier 7. You have this 1,600-pound bomb, which for the longest time was the biggest bomb in the game before the JU-287 and EF-131s came out. That should say something. Having the biggest bomb in the game, or one of the biggest bombs now, at tier 8, this can do some damage. 9,000. Look at the blast radius on this. It's more than 100 meters. It's pretty significant. Last but not least, your rockets do get upgraded. So instead of doing 1,000 damage per rocket, now you do 1,500 damage per rocket. Again, all this builds towards changing your mentality a little bit from the F4Us to the F2G. Yeah, you're still air-to-air combat. Yeah, your comfortability is going to be there doing air damage, knocking out those air targets. But do not discount your ability to flip sectors with your bomb and your rockets. All right, so you're going to notice a little difference on my equipment setup. We're at tier 8, so now we can actually get some additional equipment slot here. For the most part, I have the same setup. The biggest difference is going to be, so we'll just review the normal setup that I have. Operated engine, the lightweight wing frame. Of course, I'm going to have gyroscopic sight and the aerodynamic pylons. The biggest difference is going to be, since we have an extra airframe slot, I've actually gone in. I had an ultimate polished skin lying around. I don't know why, but I took it and I put it on this plane. Getting the airspeed up has made me enjoy this. I like this plane a lot beforehand. Before Specialization, I liked it. I loved it. After Specialization, I still liked it, but a lot of the other planes out there just seemed to outclass it when it came to speed. And so what I've done is I've gone ahead and put the polished skin on here, and that has made me feel a lot more comfortable in the plane. I can get to sectors in a timely manner. I can chase down enemy planes if I've got my boost ready to go. Obviously, I'm not just the fastest thing out there, but it definitely makes a huge difference being able to have my cruise speed at 354 miles an hour, my boost speed up to 455. Just having that cruise, that base speed, be that high. It's literally, without the polished skin on here, it's like 60 miles an hour less. It's significantly less. I would still recommend, if you don't have the plane specialized, speed build is not the way to go, simply because no matter how much speed you put into an even elite F2G, it's just not going to be fast enough. Until you can get all your equipment slots filled in there, you're going to struggle with speed. And so focus on your maneuverability when you're starting out. And that way you've just got that flexibility. As far as my consumables are concerned, very basic as far as I'm concerned. My standard setup for fighters and multi-role fighters. First aid package, pneumatic control assist, engine cooling. I've got some credits lying around, so I use universal ammo. I find improved fragmentation incredibly helpful on this plane because of the bomb, because of the rockets, doing extra damage with those. Not a bad thing. Pneumatic control assist. So I want to say a couple things about pneumatic control assist and engine cooling. Pneumatic control assist I typically only use if I get myself stuck into a dogfight that I can't escape, or I know that I need to get my guns on target because otherwise I'm going to be dead. So a prime example would be going against that ME-209. If I didn't have my wing knocked out, I would have been able to hit my pneumatic control assist and get my guns on target, actually outmaneuver him for a little while, and kill him. That's what I save it for. I don't use it so that I can go dogfight a yak. Sometimes I'll use it as well if I need to try to make a U-turn really quick and get my guns on target on a very low health 262 or something like that. If I can get my guns on target quicker, knock him out before he's gone, I'll do it in that kind of situation as well. For engine cooling, I typically use it to get from sector to sector. I will also save it in certain situations if I know that there is a plane like a Yak-15 that I need to try to escape. I can do that in this plane if I've got engine cooling going. I'll also save it to try to get those bombers, as you saw me try to do against the Tu-10s, excuse me. Doesn't always work, and of course you need to make sure that you're only going against the bomber. There's not, a heavy fighter or another multi-role floating around that's just going to chew you up from behind. Then it's kind of a waste. But I will use engine cooling to try to get to higher altitude to knock out one aircraft type situation. So there's some background on why I set up my consumables the way I do. But I've thoroughly enjoyed this setup, and now that I've been flying the F2G a little bit more, I'm really enjoying this plane some more. I'm not going to lie, there's definitely battles, especially Tier 9, but at Tier 8, just so many people have some premium planes that they might have boosted up, and they play a million times. Vampires are a huge pain in the butt. XP58s can be a huge pain in the butt. I mean, I can list a lot of Tier 8 premiums that can be just a huge pain in the butt. But the key is, in those situations, don't go dogfighting a frickin' vampire. Pay attention to where the XP58 is, right? You're a multi-role. You should know that you are not going to be, you're not the fastest, you're not the most maneuverable. You're a balanced machine. And that's your strength, is your balance. If you're recognizing the interaction, you've got a better metric than whatever plane you're going against. You just need to know what that metric is. Am I better at maneuverable? Am I better at speed? And utilize that. Don't try to lean into the enemy's strength. You should be leaning into their weaknesses. And in this second battle that I was in, like, I was under the assumption that we were going to have to, be supplemental and do some damage on the ground when we needed to, do some air damage when we needed to, and that's kind of, it's what you need to do to win sometimes. You're not going to be the alpha every time, especially in multi-role fighters. As far as my pilot setup is concerned, this is actually, of the 3 planes that we just reviewed, this is actually my most skilled pilot. 7 whole points. I've kind of got him with a balanced build. The aerodynamics expert is only going to be relevant once you specialize the plane. Then you'll finally have enough equipment that the 40% buff to aircraft maneuverability and speed equipment is actually going to be relevant. If you've just gotten this plane and you've just got a new pilot, your best bet is going to be something like this: Marksman 1, Engine Guru 1, whichever one you find more relevant. I prefer Marksman 1 as my first go-to, just to get my guns to be a better chance of hitting. I want to be able to make sure I'm doing the damage as quickly as possible. I'm tempted to... I've got an extra point lying around, as you can see. I'm tempted to get rid of Engine Guru 1 and utilize the 3 points from there to get Marksman 2. Might help just to get my guns on target when I am stuck in a head-on versus an ME-209, stuff like that. I don't know. Right now I'm comfortable with the plane, so I don't know if changing its speed, reducing its speed just a little bit to get its accuracy for the guns is helpful or not. I'll keep you posted. Or heck, at this point, that's the end of my discussion of the F2G. Maybe you can keep me posted. What's your pilot setup on this plane? I'd love to hear your overall setup. Do you enjoy this plane? Is this a plane that you kept? I absolutely love this plane. I kept it. This whole line, this is one of my favorite lines in the game, especially for multi-roles. The Tier 9 after this is absolutely stellar as well. And the Tier 10 can be really good if you know how to utilize it. It does have a slightly different playstyle, which can have a strong learning curve to it. But here at Tier 8, the F2G, it's got a can-do attitude. It really can do whatever you want it to do. As long as you know and can put it in a proper position to be successful, this plane can be successful. Anyway, hope you enjoy the video. Thank you so much for joining me, and I hope you have a great day. Bye.